Beachbody Coach. She's a 9-star diamond and a founder of Fit Family Community. She's a Success Club 10 legend, 43 consecutive months, rocking out Success Club. That's amazing. She's a wife to a policeman, a mother, and she was also a country heat participant, test group participant. Welcome, Jenn.
All right, thank you guys so much, and thank you to the Minnesota Council for putting this event together, and a shout out to everybody in the Central region. I know that, well, I'm in Tennessee, I know the Carrascos are in Canada, so we're all part of Central region as well. So thank you guys for coming out and for supporting this in Minnesota, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys. And thanks to Aaron, now I totally feel good enough to be up here, so. All right. Can you go on my first slide? Okay, so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about transformations today, and specifically, my presentation is called the Untold transformation. So the first kind of transformation that is pretty typical with Beachbody is obviously physical transformations. So this is a Beachbody event, right? So how many of us have completed, and I mean like a day 1 and a day 30 of a Beachbody program? Who's completed one? All right, awesome, that is good. All right, so those of you that had your hands up, how many of you actually submitted your results, your story, your pictures to the Beachbody Challenge? Okay, good. I'm glad to see a lot of hands on that. Sometimes people forget to submit those stories, and those stories are so important. Those stories are the things that sometimes, maybe you're not going to be the $100,000 challenge winner, but it can be that picture that inspires somebody on social media because they're scrolling through Facebook and then they see your before and after picture, and your story or your transformation is the same kind of thing that they're looking for, and your story is the one that gets them to say, hey, if she can do it, I can totally do that too. So make sure that you're submitting those stories because they are really important. The other thing is a financial transformation. So those are equally awesome, and also something that is a big deal in Beachbody. They have the Financial Fitness Award, the Financial Independence, and the Financial Freedom. And those are all things that happen as you are getting involved as a Beachbody coach. You're starting to grow your business, you're starting to earn a little bit of money, and then a little bit of more money, and you're starting to pay off your debts. So how many of you guys have started to feel a little bit of a financial transformation with your Beachbody business? All right, that's great, that's awesome. I think that sometimes the weight of debt can actually be a little bit heavier on our bodies than even an extra 20 pounds. Like sometimes the weight that you carry when you don't know how you're gonna pay the mortgage, or you don't know how you're gonna pay your son's tuition that's coming up at the end of the month. That can put so much stress and so much weight on your body, which can also really throw yourself out of whack with your physical transformation too. So I've always thought that it was so awesome that Beachbody kind of paired those two things together. And okay, I think next one. But what about a personality transformation? Has anybody ever thought of that, or has anybody ever kind of thought that maybe they've changed a little bit since they became a coach? Or if you're not a coach and somebody invited you here, have you ever kind of looked at your friend or your family member and thought, they're a little bit different than when I first met them, or they're not the same person when they were miserable and overweight and lacked energy? So this person up there on the screen, that's the person that you see up here on stage. That's the person that you guys know today as Jenn Greenberg, the person with those accolades that they named off on my slide. And that's who I am today. I mean, I totally own up to that, but I own up to it when I need to. And that's one of the things that I kind of wanted to share with you guys is I still consider myself to be a shy person. I still consider myself to be an introvert, but because I'm passionate about this business, because I'm passionate about the transformations that I've seen happen before my eyes, that I've seen happen in my own life, in my family's life, I'm able to be that person when I need to be. So, next one. Okay, so these pictures freak me out. I did not want to share them, and it's funny, the reason that I decided to talk about this story today is one of my coaches had sent me a message and wanted to know if I had a training video on doing a getting started right call. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did that like a couple years ago. I remember putting a video together. Let me go back on my YouTube channel and find it. So I started looking through, and it was like 3 years ago that I made this video. And I looked at the video just because it was old, so I just wanted to watch it and make sure that what I said in the video actually made sense and was still relevant. And when I clicked play, I was like, oh my gosh, like, who is that girl? First of all, she didn't have red hair. Second of all, like, I had no enthusiasm. I had like no facial expressions. You had to turn the volume all the way up to be able to hear me, and like put your ear next to the computer because my voice was so low. But that was one of the things that I'm actually really proud of myself for. I didn't wait till I was that person to start building my business. I started when I wanted to. I started even though I wasn't ready. And it's been such a cool way to track that transformation, because it's easy to like say like, here's my day 1 21-day fix, and here's my day 21, and you can see a big difference. But how do you track how you're changing as a person? So one way is definitely starting on YouTube. Go back, if you have a YouTube channel, I would challenge you, go back and look at some of your old videos, and I think you'll be really surprised. And you'll be really proud of yourself to see like how far you've actually come. So when I look at these pictures, that one in the top right corner, that was part of my like post-pregnancy transformation. And I specifically remember that moment of posting that picture. I was actually really proud of that picture because I think it was like 6 or 8 weeks after I had my son. And I was excited to say like, hey guys, look, I'm starting to look like a normal person again, like after having a baby, and I was excited, but I didn't want anyone to see my face. So if you see, like I've got the camera just so that you can see that it's me, kind of, but then I don't want you to see my whole face. And I certainly don't want you to see me smiling, because I'm not. That's because I didn't have the confidence yet. I was just kind of sharing, but kind of not, because I felt uncomfortable. The one to the left is when I did the ultimate reset, and that was another time that I specifically remember taking those photos. I specifically remember hating them and telling myself they were never going to come out of my computer because they were so awful to me. And it was that time frame of coming out of having a baby, and anybody that's had a baby, you guys understand, you go through that phase. I call it my ugly phase, where like I stopped doing any kind of makeup or washing my hair, brushing my hair, any of that stuff like went out the window. So like I went through this whole phase of having no confidence, feeling like I had no value, feeling like I didn't have anything to offer to people. So how was I going to use that and still continue to inspire people to do stuff that I wasn't doing? But that's the beauty. I think you can go to the next one. So that's the beauty of the opportunity that we have as coaches. You can embrace where you are right now. You can embrace where you're at as a person on your personal development journey, where you're at, what your interests are currently. And that's one of the great ways to be able to grow your network, to be able to share with more people, and to be able to impact people, regardless of if you're shy or you're outgoing, or you're an introvert or you're not an introvert. What I've learned as a coach, now that I've been around for over 5 years, is all of those things are truly excuses. When somebody tells me that they can't grow their business, or they can't talk to people about a challenge group because they're shy, I tell them, there is nobody out there that is more shy than me. There's nobody out there that can like want to go in a room and hide under a table. That's gonna be me still to this day. And just because I became more than that, like my natural instincts are still there. So how you can kind of get over that when you need to is just kind of embrace where you are right now. Another thing that I tried to do, which is a fail, so take this tip. If you're wanting to grow further in your business and you see other people that are being successful, and you're like, oh, all right, well, I need to be this kind of person. I need to be more outgoing. I need to dress like this. I need to post like that. And then you try and copy those styles, it's not gonna work. I've tried it. There's one person that I know of specifically, because he's my coach, and he would take like 2 or 3 shots of E&E before he would do videos. And then I was like, oh, well, why didn't you just tell me that that's what you have to do to be successful? You should have just told me that a long time ago. I would have started doing it. So I tried it. It didn't work for me. It just made me have an upset stomach. But anyways, but it worked for him, and that was fine. But it's just, you have to find your own style, and you have to be okay with your own style. And any time that I would try to imitate somebody else, people would call me out on it, and then that would kind of hurt my integrity a little bit. And so I just want to encourage you guys to know that wherever you're at, whether you're shy or not, you can use that, you can embrace that, you can be that person, and you're gonna attract people that are like you. You're not gonna attract people, if you're not wanting to drink a whole bunch of E&E, then you're probably not gonna attract people that wanna drink a bunch of E&E, so that's gonna be fine. But you just have to know that where you're at is fine, and you're gonna attract just the right people. Next one. Okay, so some of you guys may have heard this before, but if you were to take the 5 things that define you, that is a great way to go about sharing your journey, posting on social media, and finding ways to connect with people. So some ideas of that would be, maybe you're a mom, maybe you're a teacher, maybe you're a first responder, military, maybe you are into crafts, maybe you're a runner, maybe you're an ultra marathon person, maybe you travel, maybe you have a motorhome. Like, there's all kinds of different little subcategories of things that you can be interested in. And these should be things that you're interested in, whether you have Beachbody in your life or not. So don't try and make up interests just because you want to go and find people in that group. These should be things that are important to you no matter what. So whether you are part of this business or not, you should still be a toddler mom if that's your thing. Or you should still be into baking if that's your thing. So once you know those 5 things that are a part of you, no matter what, I would suggest finding groups that are part of those communities and actually spend time in those communities. Get to know people in those communities and build relationships in those communities. For me, that's how I've been able to grow my network from having maybe 300 or 400 friends when I first started my business to now only being a couple hundred people away from maxing out on friends and having, a like page and all those things. Once I was able to really define those and actually make meaningful relationships in those groups, I was able to find new friends and find people that were like me. Next one. Okay, like attracts like. This can be a really good thing or a really bad thing. So this is a time for you to kind of do a little bit of self-reflection and think about if you want to work with somebody like you. Are you coachable? Do you listen to the advice that your coach gives you? Did you go to Summit and implement anything that you were taught? Do you watch training videos, read personal development, and do any of that stuff? Or do you just let it go in one ear and out the other? So are you coachable? Are you implementing things? You need to become the person that you want to attract. When you close your eyes and you think about who your dream coach is or who your dream challenger is, We all wish that we had our challenge groups full of those people that are like super enthusiastic, that message us first thing in the morning with their sweaty selfie, and they're like so excited, and they're like, oh, I can't wait till tomorrow to do cardio fix, and like, you're like, oh, I remember when I was that enthusiastic. But we all wish that we had our challenge groups full of those people. Well, guess what? It's not going to happen until you become that person again. You have to have that same enthusiasm, that same excitement every morning when you get up, and your challengers are going to expect that from you, and your coaches are going to expect that from you. So you have to be that person too. So like attracts like can be one of those things that really bites you in the butt, or it can be like the best blessing ever. And for me, it's one of those things where every time that I do that self-reflection of, do I want a Jen? Do I want somebody that is giving excuses about not doing personal development, or giving excuses about why I haven't done my business tracker, or why I'm not making it to events? Or do I want somebody that's showing up every day and doing a program, submitting my results to Beachbody Challenge, doing things outside of my comfort zone, getting up on stage, participating in a test group? That is the kind of person I want. So I need to be that person. So every time that you do that self-reflection and you decide, you know what, I wouldn't want my coaches doing this, or I wouldn't want my challengers doing this, I wouldn't want my kids doing this, then that is where you know that you need to improve. That's where you know that you need to put your focus on, you need to get disciplined, you need to work hard, and you need to be patient with yourself, but also you need to be disciplined with yourself. Next one. Okay, so back to the thing about shy being an excuse. And I'm the first one to say that I was totally guilty of that in the beginning. And then I realized that being shy is actually like, well, social media is like a shy person's best friend. Because guess what? Like in real life, like in person-to-person moments, still to this day, I still am very soft-spoken. I have a hard time speaking up. Like somebody can come up to me and say like, do you know where the closest coffee shop is? And I'll probably like look to my left and to my right to see if there's somebody else who will answer instead of it being me. Like it's just how it is. And so once I realized that with social media, like it actually gives me that platform to speak up. I can be as loud as I want to on social media. I can post videos with me doing like the penguin on social media and be totally okay with that. And get lots of views and lots of likes and comments, and then I feel it gives me that taste of success. It gives me the desire to want to do more of it. It gives me the desire to say, wow, there's other people like me that connect with this, that understand how I feel. And if I can show them that their story, that their personality can impact more people, then that's what gives me the power, the desire, and the guts to come up here and to do these kind of things, to speak in front of lots of people, to speak on webinars, and those kinds of things. Okay, next one. Okay, so anyways, oh, there we go. All right, so one other quick tip I wanted to share with you guys. If you do have a little bit of a hard time like inviting people to challenge groups or inviting to the coaching opportunity, talking to people about challenge groups and those kind of things, one thing that helped me tremendously that I still do, that I did at the start of my coaching journey, is doing free groups. It took a lot of that pressure off of me to feel like, oh, they're gonna freak out when I tell them that it costs money, or those kind of things that I prejudged people on. But I started offering free groups, and I did some other things. I got creative. I did things other than just clean eating. I found some other ways to connect with people. These are just a couple of examples: Sword to the Core, Clean Eating Challenge, Spice Up Your Life. But doing these things, it gave me the ability to make connections with people in an environment that I felt comfortable. So I knew that I was not comfortable meeting people on social media and immediately inviting them to be a part of a challenge group. But what I was comfortable with was an environment that I created, which was a free group, a chance for them to get to know me, a chance for me to be able to add value to their life, a chance for me to get to know who they are. And once we built that relationship, it made it a lot easier for me to be able to move forward and to be able to show them exactly what I can offer them in that next step of being in a full challenge group or being a part of our team. All right, next one. Okay, so this is my last one. I just want to kind of tie everything up here. But if you have been around Beachbody for any length of time, you probably have already heard the phrase, why not you, or why not me, or something of that nature. And sometimes when you hear a phrase like over and over again, sometimes you can kind of like, it becomes like white noise, you know, like you can just kind of dismiss it from your mind because you're like, yeah, they say that every time. All the top coaches always say that, and they say it at Summit, and they say it at Super Saturday, and all of that stuff. But if you actually do take some time to really reflect on that and to really think about like, why not? Especially if you tie that into everything that Erin just taught us about getting rid of some of those limiting beliefs. You can really start to picture yourself being up on stage one day, leading a workshop at Summit, leading a workshop, at a different event, being on stage for a live workout, being a master trainer, being a top 10 coach, being an elite coach, whatever it is for you. But first of all, you have to know what it is for you and visualize that. And I know for me, when I was at my first summit in, I guess it was 2013. Yeah, it was 2013 because I had just had Mikey. And I saw the elite coaches go on stage. And my coach was an elite coach that year, so I got to see him get recognized on stage. And that whole rest of the year, I knew that I wanted to be there. I knew I wanted to be an elite coach. I visualized myself walking on stage. I visualized myself hearing my name being called. I visualized the audience clapping. I visualized my team being there cheering for me. I visualized my family being there cheering for me. And that is one of those things that drove me every single day. I thought about it. I knew exactly how I was going to feel. I knew how my family was going to feel and my team was going to feel when they saw me accomplish that goal. And I let that be my driving force. And any time that I started to have those fears or that anxiety of I'm not good enough or I'm too shy, I can't talk to that person, she's more outgoing than me, I can't speak to her, I can't invite her to be part of my business because she probably already knows somebody else. How many times have we told that to ourselves about somebody you wanted to invite? We prejudge people. So anytime that you start to prohibit yourself from moving forward on what you know is right, what you know is possible, what you know that you're destined to do, you have to remember what you're working for. You have to remember that it is possible for you. And there's a reason why people say that those 3 words over and over and over again. There's a reason why people use it all the time, because it's so true. Why not? Why not you? Why not you? Why not you? Why not me? And there's no reason not. The only reason is because we hold our own selves back. So once you get over that, once you decide that you're going to do this, once you decide that that's going to be you walking on stage for elite recognition or Success Club 10 recognition or whatever that dream big goal is for you, then you can just keep pushing yourself there. Just don't let go of that. Don't let go of that visualization. So I think that's everything. So thank you guys so much for having me.
Can you guys tell which one of us is from Minnesota and which one of us is from Tennessee based on our shoes? I need to step up my game. Okay, before we have our last speaker, we are going to watch the corporate video.